will agree with me, is very important because M&E provides data on program progress and effectiveness and improves program management and decision making. M&E allows accountability to stakeholders, including development partners, and provides data to plan future resource needs. M&E also provides data useful for
a robust and effective monitoring and evaluation system backed by an accurate and timely sharing of information between project implementers and stakeholders is said to be crucial in ensuring project objectives, targets, and outputs through thorough collection of relevant data.
I am confident that as participants you have had a stimulating 2 weeks learning and sharing experiences on practical aspects of designing and implementing M&E systems in our management of projects funded by the Islamic Development Bank, the IDB.
As experts in M&E, the focus should be on results as indicated in your results framework. Always keep in mind of the importance of measuring results in your work, and that the following shall always serve as a guide. If you cannot measure results, you cannot differentiate success from failures.
Monitoring and evaluation is government's key priority area for successful project management. The 2-week tutorial on M&E for senior staff from government ministries and agencies implementing Islamic Development Bank and other donor-funded projects in the Gambia is therefore seen as a powerful tool for the attainment of the country's development aspirations. Louis Mendy, GRTS.
Rio 2016 Paralympic Games may look like a distant event from now, but the local Paralympic body is not taking anything for granted. Members of the National Paralympic Committee have converged for a 3-day capacity enhancement program thanks to the International Paralympic Federation. Famara Fufuna reports the forum was aimed at preparing physically challenged athletes ahead of the Brazil Games following the encouraging performances in the London 2012 Paralympics.
After participating in the 2012 London Paralympics, the Gambia National Paralympics Committee for the first time benefited from a 3-day capacity building workshop courtesy of its umbrella body, the International Paralympics Committee. The training, which brought together physically challenged within the committee's purview, forms part of the GNPC's 4-year strategic plan, better prepare the body's athletes for the upcoming Rio 2016 Paralympic competition. The GNPC has this year witnessed tremendous triumph and recognition in the recently concluded Paralympic competition in England, where 2 of its athletes competed. This landmark development, acknowledged by Suleiman Koli, was supported by the President of the Republic.
2012 this year was the year that we have taken part in the Paralympic Games in London 2012. As my Secretary General outlined here, that it all happens through the enabling environment created and conducive for all by our able President of the Republic, Sheikh Professor Dr. Al-Haji Yahya Ejeje Jammeh, because he has been supporting us since 2007 when we traveled to Egypt for the Jaffa Games, and also our qualification and classification in Tunisia, which was fully sponsored by the President. That's what enabled us to take part in the London 2012 Paralympic Games. So that has led us to this development today, because now the Gambia's name is in the books of the international community for taking part in the Paralympic Games. And again, this workshop here is to develop a strategic development, a strategic plan for Gambia for the next 4 years.
After having been poorly represented in previous Paralympic competitions due to late preparations and financial bottlenecks over the years, this approach taken by the committee's president is deemed a decisive one, which delighted the IPC to fund the Capacity Enhancement Forum. As the training is premised on fine-tuning the committee's managerial policies and prepares their athletes for Rio 2012, the realization of this desired goal, according to Carol Enriquez, Development Officer IPC, is only possible if the participants deliberate fully on the training.
We'll see this during the next 3 days, and we will do a good work during the next days in order to establish a good plan to participate successfully in Rio in 2016. Topics that we want to talk about and develop points for the NPC is, of course, an analysis of the situation of the NPC. We use the instrument SWOT, so strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. We will then also look into the core business of the NPC. So what kind of work does the NPC do? How do they do it and why? So also the motivational factors. We will then also look into the strategic plan of the NPC. So it is about the strategic goals and objectives. We will then also look into the athlete's performance pathway. So what does an athlete need to develop from the starting level up to participation in Paralympic Games?
With this forum and more training packages said to be in the pipeline, there is a glimmer of hope that our Paralympians will deliver better in upcoming games. Famara Fofana, GRTS.
2 years since apologizing for the role of Belgium in the assassination of Patrice Lumumba, a Belgian federal court has given the go-ahead for new investigations in the mysterious death of Congo's first lawfully elected prime minister. And South African authorities say Nelson Mandela is slowly recovering from a lung infection in a Pretoria military hospital. But many people in the Rainbow Nation are concerned and anxious about Madiba's health, and as he spends the 5th night in hospital. We will be back with these and other stories right after this break.
I do not want to have development, and it's not sustainable. And the only way you can have development is for there to be peace and security. And the only way you can sustain what has been developed so far and make it useful to the people also is ensuring peace and security.
Welcome back to GRTS News. Somali troops backed by African Union forces have seized control of one of the last remaining towns under the Al-Shabaab militia. And 2 years since apologizing for the role of Belgium in the assassination of Patrice Lumumba, a Belgian court has given the green light for new investigations into the death of Congo's first lawfully elected prime minister. We have details of those and other stories in this African News Roundup.
Somali troops, backed by African Union forces, seized control of Jowar, one of the last remaining towns under the control of the Islamist Shabaab militia, 90 kilometers from the Somali capital, Mogadishu.
And they are on the run now. And this victory will continue, and this momentum will continue until we freed or liberated the rest of the Somalis.
The African Union says it will continue.
Capturing a town like this is just winning a battle. But the bigger war is the war of the minds and hearts of the people, because once you have the people with you, then the war is over.
According to the African Union, the Shabaab is terrorizing the Somalis. Ghana's newly elected president stopped off for a visit to Nigeria on his way to Equatorial Guinea for a summit between the European Union and African, Caribbean and Pacific countries. John Dramani Mahama met with the Nigerian president, Goodluck Jonathan, on Wednesday.
After elections, it's significant that this is the first country I should visit, just to cement the relations between our two great countries.
One of the questions raised was a breakdown in gas deliveries to Ghana caused by a problem with a pipeline. In November 2010, the Belgian government, DR Congo's former colonial ruler, apologized for its role in the assassination of Patrice Lumumba. This week, the Belgian government has given the go-ahead to an investigation into his death. A federal court in Brussels decided to allow the investigation into the role of 12 Belgians